Good afternoon, everybody. This is Robert at Scott Leroy Marketing. We're getting started with our overview of command chat, groups, and referrals here. I do want to make sure that you guys can hear me. So if you'll look up near the very top of your screen, you should have the same 5 buttons that I do. If you'll click on this one just to the left of center that looks like a speech bubble icon, that's going to bring up the chat window here. If you would let me know here whether you can or can't hear me, I'd really appreciate that. Something like that. I'm going to drop this over here so that we can just monitor that throughout the class. Before we get started, this class is being recorded. That's what you saw me do there at the beginning with that 3, 2, 1 countdown. And that'll be available hopefully in just a couple of hours, but at the latest tomorrow. There we go. Number 52 says they can hear me. That should be available within just a couple of hours, but at the latest tomorrow at slmtraining.com. So that's S as in Scott, L as in Leroy, M as in marketing, training.com. If you're having trouble hearing maybe on your computer or you'd rather use your phone, there is the option to call in. That number's been by on the screen a couple of times here. I also just sent it to you guys in the chat window there. Now, this is a follow-along class. You're going to be clicking what I click. You're going to be doing what I do. But if there's anything you have questions about, anything I'm unclear on, anything I didn't explain fully, anything that I accidentally skipped and you'd like to go back over, definitely let me know there in the chat window. I am going to be monitoring that the whole class. I want to make sure I answer any questions that you guys might have. So to get started, let me minimize this. We're going to get logged into command. I'm going to log into agent.kw.com. So command isn't accessed through my KW. It's a separate site, agent.kw.com. And you're going to log in with the same username and password you use to log into my KW. So it's typically in the format first initial, last name, and then maybe a number or two, depending on how common your last name is, and then your password, the same thing for my KW. Where we're going to end up is here on the command dashboard. And this is where we're going to start with the chat. And I guess I'll have to move this over here for the time being. Chat is going to be found down here at the bottom right of every single page in command. It never goes away. You always have chat available here in command. So if you click on that, it's going to pop up, and starting at the top, you have this little pencil icon. This is where you can start a new conversation. So when you do that, it gives you the options for some settings here to add participants. You're also doing that at the same time right here as you're creating the new, what's that called? New chat here. So I'm going to search for like Gary Keller. There we go. We've got Gary dropping down here in the search results. If I click on that, I can also add additional people to this chat. I could add John Davis. John Davis, that one. I could also add Jay Papasan. You know, I could add all these guys to this chat, and then when I click save, it's going to open up a new chat window here, and I could send messages to any of them. They don't want to talk to me, so I'm not going to be sending this chat message to them, but that's the way that it works to create a new chat, and it can be a group chat. It doesn't have to be one-on-one. Underneath that, we have the option here for Ask Kelly. Kelly used to be exclusive to the phone app, but now you can ask Kelly things here in the command system. Now, this is the last time I did this class. Problem contacting the Kelly server. Hopefully that issue has been resolved, so I can try show listings near me. I can't do that on the computer yet. I'm still learning. So that's probably share with participants. I have no idea what that means. I clicked it. Okay. So she can't do that on the computer yet, mostly because computers typically don't have GPS information. So what I can do instead is, let's see, Kelly Snap 32534. That's my old neighborhood in Pensacola. Apparently she can't do that either. So apparently there's a lot Kelly can't do on the computer yet. So if there's something you want her to do that she can't do, switch back over to the phone. Underneath that, we've got a list of recent conversations. So this is going to be the most recent people you talked to here in chat. It shows that I talked to Kelly, and then it also shows that I've sent messages to Scott as well. So if I click on that, I can reopen that conversation and send those messages between Scott and myself. I can even, inside this chat, click on that gear icon, and I can add more people to this chat. You can always turn a single chat into a group chat. Now, as far as I'm aware, yeah, apparently you can also remove people from a group chat. So say there's somebody that's not relevant to a conversation anymore, but you want to keep it going with everybody else, you can remove them here under chat participants in the settings for that chat. Under that, we've got a section for my team. I'm not a member of a team, and I'm not sure exactly where this team information pulls from. I believe it might be the Winmore system, but if your team members are listed here, you can send chat messages really quickly under this My Team section without having to search for them. And I believe, I can't confirm this because again, I'm not a member of a team, but I believe you should also be able to send a chat to your entire team, create a group chat for the whole team pretty easily under this section here. Under that, we've got the section for referral network. This is going to be everybody that has accepted my referral invitation or they have accepted mine. So this is going to be a lot of Pensacola people. And you can start a new chat with any of them just by clicking on their name. And as always, you can go up here to the settings and do chat participants and add additional people to this chat. That is pretty much all there is to say about the chat window. You can minimize that by clicking on the word chat. Are there any questions about the chat before we move on? Remember, send those over here in the chat window. And if you're not sure how to open that, these 5 buttons up here at the top, it's the one just to the left of center that looks like a speech bubble icon. That'll open up the chat window here, and you can send me those questions if you have them. I'll leave it open for just a second. One thing that just occurred to me here in the chat, you may have noticed I was able to search Gary Keller, Jay Papasan, John Davis. I'm not friends with them. I've never met them. They're not in my referral network. So there's no limit to who you can chat with in this chat section. It's anybody that's in the referral network in KW Connect or here in Command. It's the same referral network. And we're going to be covering that referral network in just a little bit. So you can chat with basically anybody in KW as long as they're part of the referral network, which the vast majority of people are going to be. Okay, it's not looking like we have any questions, so we're going to jump over to groups. So you can access that either with this tile here on the home page, the dashboard, or you've got groups over here in the sidebar, maybe. Apparently not. So this is how you access groups. It's from the dashboard. So you'd have to come back here to the dashboard of Command and then click on groups. Now these are groups from within KW Connect, and there are some groups you're going to automatically be a member of. Like right now, I'm a member of the Labs groups. I'm also a member of the Pennsylvania Greater Region because I'm a member of a market center there. I'm not in Pennsylvania, but that's the most recent market center I'm a member of. I'm also a member of the Tech Ambassador community, and I'm also a member of this particular market centers group. And those types of things are going to be automatic or based on what you have requested. If you want to see what's going on in each of those groups, you can just click on it. So I'm going to click on the Labs group here. And this is what a group looks like. So you have the option up here at the top to invite members or leave the group. Down here in the feed, this is going to be the most recent posts into this group from anybody that's a member of this group. You can also post anything into this group using this box right here that says share something with your group. You can do a poll, I believe that's what that is. Yeah, you're creating a poll here, or you can share an image or just type out your text post, and you can paste in links in your text post. It's very similar to groups in Facebook, but KW wanted to internalize that so that you're not depending on an outside third-party resource to stay connected with maybe your team or your market center or things like that. So you can have groups here in Command for your real estate business for basically any purpose. You can create a group for anything you want to. You can create as many groups as you want to, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. Over here on the right is a description of what Labs is here. We've got members here. This is going to list everybody that's part of this group, and it's got contact information and their roles. And then over here on the right, you can view their profile. And if you were an admin, which I'm not an admin of this group, but if you were an admin, you could remove them from that group as well. We've got events here. So say you've got something coming up for, oh, apparently this is coming soon. But say you've got something coming up for your team or your market center, maybe a get together, maybe an open house, something like that. You can post that in events here. Again, very similar to Facebook, but that's still being worked on. And so is resources. So if there are like documents or logos or scripts or things like that you need to share with your entire team or your whole market center, this is going to be a great place to put that as well once it becomes available. Let's go back out to groups here. Now, what's supposed to be on this page eventually, it says it's coming soon, is a summary of your group activities. So starting at the top, I'm looking at the grayed out section here. Starting at the top, you'll have invitations, pending invitations for groups that other people want to invite you to. So there's coaching there, there's We Heart Kelly. So these are just generic example groups that they've got. Under that, we've got Discover. So this is finding groups that are based on tag, based on keyword, based on their popularity. So bigger ones, thicker ones are going to be more popular tags that there are groups for. So there are going to be a lot of Kelly groups. There are going to be a lot of growth, a lot of education groups. Under that are going to be groups that it suggests that you join based on your other group memberships. So say you're a member of several mastermind groups or something like that, it might recommend other mastermind groups for you to do here. It's going to be education and culture-based groups and then technology-based groups. And I believe what's supposed to go on here is a summary, a feed of what's going on in your groups, without having to go into each one individually. Now, what we also have the option to do here is create a new group. And again, you can create your own groups. You can create as many as you want. You can invite anybody that you want into your group for basically any purpose that you want, as long as it's business related. You wouldn't want to do these kind of groups for your kid's birthday party. That would be better suited for Facebook. But if it's something to do with work, with KW, great place to have that group to communicate with multiple people at the same time. So we'll start with your group name. So we're going to call this class 62619. This is a test group. Keywords, so test, education, Scott, Roy, something like that. And you can separate those all by commas. Moderators, now there aren't going to be any options to add moderators to this group right now because there's nobody in the group. I'm not even sure why this is an option. But you can send invitations to other people as they're... Actually, you know what? Sorry, I'm wrong about that. You can start typing a name here, and it's going to look them up in the referral network. So you can make Scott an admin of this group at the same time that you're creating it. And I can do the same for like Gary or Jay or whoever. I can make an admin of this group at the time I'm creating it. Also, at the time you're creating it, you can send invitations for people to be members, to other people on your team, your market center, things like that. So we'll send this to... Actually, I don't want to send that to anybody. And then you're choosing the privacy of this group. Is it visible to all? They can find the group, but they can't see what's posted in it, or nobody can find the group or see what's posted in it. I'm going to make this a private group. Actually, you know what? While I'm doing this, anybody... Nah, we'll skip that. I'm going to make this a private group because no one needs to see this test group. Under that, you've got the option to add the icon that's going to show in the top left of the group in a circle. I'm just going to do this nice picture of Scott. There we go. So now we'll create this group. And now it shows up here in the list of my groups here. It's not going to take me automatically into that group, but I can click on that and then go do all those things that I can do with the group. Now, one thing to point out is now that I am an admin of this group, over on the right, I can click on this gear here. And there are different things that I can change about the group. I can change the name, the description, any of the keywords. If there's a location, I can add that in, city, state, address, and country. I don't know why those are addresses and up there. You've got your profile graphic. You've also got the banner up here, this kind of cloudy looking area. You can replace that banner here. And it says best resolution is 1920 by 300. Now, as far as the profile graphic, the icon, those should be square, and its maximum size is 256 by 256. Yeah, I'm going to do, I guess, a KW logo here or something. Nah, I just don't feel like doing that. Under that, we've got the option to create more moderators or things like that. I guess Scott has to accept the invitation before he actually shows up here in the moderators section. So let me pull up Scott's command here, and I'm going to go to the dashboard and go to groups. And actually, you know what? It's not going to show here on the groups dashboard. Where is it going to show this? Is it going to be in notifications? No. Where do I accept? I know I saw this last time I did this class. Where do I accept the invitation to join this group? Interesting. How do we get that invitation? I don't know. Maybe we'll come across it later. Okay. And then you can also archive the group, which is basically the same as deleting the group, but you can undo it. So that's why it's archiving instead of deleting. So I am going to go ahead and archive this group because this isn't a real group. There's no reason to have this group. I don't want it cluttering up my dashboard. So yes, I'm sure that I want to archive this group. That's basically it for groups. Do we have any questions on that before we move on to referrals? I'll leave that open for just a minute. All right, looks like we're not getting any questions. So we're going to move on to referrals, and we're going to have to go back to the command dashboard to do that. So we'll click on the little home icon up here. Oh, this is groups home. Oh, this is where we're going to see that. So this isn't the command dashboard. This is the groups dashboard. I'm glad I came across that. So I'm in Scott's account here, so I should see my request to join this group over here, my invitation. Eventually. No pending requests here. I bet it deleted the request when I archived the group. Okay. So this is where it's going to show a conglomeration of all posts across all of your groups. And it's going to tell you who posted it and then to which group. And then you've got the post here and you have the option to vote or comment or star it. Okay, and then there's going to be some additional things that are going to be added to groups like a calendar and resources. That's that events and resources that we were talking about there. And those are coming eventually. So let's switch back to command up here at the top left. So from the command dashboard, we have the option to go into referrals here via this tile, or we can click on referrals over here on the left. It's the same icon. You'll notice that both of these are going to go to the same place. Now, those of you that have watched previous referrals classes where I did this in KW Connect, this is going to look fairly familiar. It's roughly the same layout here in Command as it is in KW Connect, with a couple of notable differences. Mainly is this menu across the top here. We've got the dashboard, my referrals, map, and my network. So the dashboard here is going to show you a summary of everything that's going on in your world of referrals. So invitations, responses to your invitations, referrals that were sent to you, referrals that you sent to other people, and then a list of your referral network. Now you'll notice Scott has not very many people in his referral network. 6 is what it said there. And when I clicked on View More, it took me over here to My Network. So from this list of your existing referral partners, you can send them referrals and you can assign tags to them. That is, apparently this is people that are going to be in your database as well. It's going to put those tags in there. Interesting. That's new. So coming back to the dashboard, actually we're going to skip over here to My Referrals. This is going to be referrals that you are currently working on or are waiting on things. So let's see here. So we don't currently have any referrals that Scott is working on. There's nothing that's waiting on somebody else to do something with, none that anybody sent to him, and none that he sent out to anybody. But if we click on View Closed Referrals, this is going to show past referrals that he has worked on. So we've got one referral that expired. Nobody responded in the amount of time that was given. We've got rejected. I said I didn't want to work with these. And then we've got lost because of different reasons. And then lastly, we've got funded, which is referrals that made it all the way through to closing. So to get started working with those referrals and adding people to your network and sending off those referrals, we're going to come over here to the map. And it's asking you to know my location. I'll go ahead and allow that. And look at this. You can now filter the map by market center. So let's try that. Let's filter by market centers. And this is showing me market centers around the Midwest, basically. Looks like there's just one on this end of South Dakota, one on this end of South Dakota, one down here, I guess in Iowa. And then anytime there's a number here, this is showing you the number of market centers that are in that area. So it looks like there are like 15 market centers in the Minneapolis area, 16 in the Denver area. And if you click on any of those, let's click on Denver here. It's going to zoom in here and show me the groupings of the market centers and list them, or list the agents in these market centers over here. So there's one all the way out here in, I don't know where that is. There's 2 up north here towards Loveland. There's 5 in Denver proper, 5 down in Centennial, 1 down in Castle Rock. So if I click on like this 5 here, it's going to zoom in even further, and it's going to show me those 5 market centers here. And I can click on any of these individual market centers to see a full list of agents that are in that market center. And I can call them, email them, add them to my referral network, or send them a referral for them to work on. Now, another way to add people to your referral network, before we get too much more into this, is you can search for somebody's name. So I'm here in Scott's account. I'm going to search for myself. So I typed my name, and up here it says my referral network, no results. That's because I am not in Scott's network yet. But what I can do down here is out of my network, there's me, and I can click on this plus sign right here to send a notification from Scott to myself to join his referral network. And you have the option to send a personalized message if you want. Then you click send invitation, and now it's in my court to accept or reject that invitation to join his referral network. Now, dang it, I didn't move fast enough. It popped up with an option up here at the top of the screen that says the invitation was sent to Robert, and then it had a link that said send a referral send a referral to Robert. So I'm going to have to do that again. So send invitation. There we go. Send a referral to this agent now. So if I click on that, I have the option to send some referral information from Scott to myself here. And all of this information is required when you're sending a referral over to another agent. They want to know if it's a buyer, seller, or renter, what referral fee you're requesting. So you guys know what referral fees are. The default is 25% here, but you can drag this higher or lower. I'm going to drag it up to 85%, which is redonkulous. And then the default amount of time that this person has to accept or counter this offer is 24 hours, but you can do as many as 96 hours, which is 4 days, or as few as 1 hour if this is a time-sensitive type thing. I'm going to do 1 hour here. And then we've got a min and max price range that this buyer is looking in, or seller is looking to sell in, or renter is looking to rent in. I'm going to do this as a buyer. So minimum 75K, maximum not 750,000. There we go. Maximum 850K. That is a really wide range. Nobody's looking for that, but whatever. And then you have the option here for sending client info. And you do have to already have this person in your command database before you can send them as a referral to another agent. So we're going to search for, do we have a John in here? No John. Search for an A. See if we pull up anything. Scott, there we go. We'll call it Ariel. Pretend we're sending Ariel to me. Ariel's one of our support representatives here as a buyer. Then we've got the option for buyers specifically. Is this buyer pre-approved? We'll tell that yes. How quickly are they looking to buy, sell, or rent? And you can do 1, 3, or 6 months, or you can add your own custom number here, looking to buy in. I chose custom and it didn't give me an option. Who knows? And then under that, even notes is required. So this is a test referral. Gosh. So I'm sending this from Scott to myself. So I'm going to switch back over to me. And I just got a notification from Kelly that Scott sent me a referral. So if I come back over here to my command here and go to my referrals section, there we go. We've got one new response to referral. So if I click on this, this one is awaiting response from me. So I have the option to, I'm going to move this over here. I have the option to accept this referral as it is, including the 85% referral fee. I can counter this for a lower referral fee, which is what I'm going to do, or I can reject this because no, I don't work in that area, no, I don't want to work with that person, no, I don't want to work with that buyer or seller or whatever. But I'm going to counter this back to Scott. So I'm going to bring this referral fee back down to a much more reasonable 25%, and I'll give Scott 24 hours to reply to this because Scott was being kind of a jerk, giving me just 1 hour to do this. And then I'll do, you know, I hope the 85% was a mistake. And then I'll counter that. So now if I come back to Scott's here, come back to the dashboard, gonna have another one, new response here. And then now it's up to Scott. Did it not send? Interesting, it didn't send my counter. Okay, well, theoretically, what is supposed to happen over here on Scott's end is he has the option to accept my counter or not. So I'm just going to have to go back over to mine and accept that. And then it's this is new. I can say, okay, I'm accepting this referral. I'm going to take great care of your client, your niece, your cousin, your aunt, you know, whoever this is that you're sending as a referral. So I'll accept that. So now this is going to move over to the inbound section here. So as I'm working with this client, as we're seeing houses, as we're getting financing, as we're inspecting and things like that, I can send updates back to Scott, letting him know how this referral is going. So, you know, viewed 6 houses today, interested, high interest in 2 of them, coming back this weekend. So I'll send that update from me back over to Scott. So if I come over back to Scott's and refresh this, eventually. Now remember, this is from Scott to me, so it's going to be in his outbound section here. I see this new note here, viewed 6 houses today, high interest. So Scott can actually send a note back to me. You know, great, glad to see things are going smoothly. Has she talked to you about her dog's accessibility needs? Something like that. That is completely made up. Ariel doesn't even have a dog, I don't think. And I'm getting notifications back and forth on my Kelly. So then last time I'm going to swap back and forth here on this deal. Going to refresh it on my end eventually. So now I've got this new note here from Scott. And so say we've worked all the way through this deal and Ariel decided, okay, I've got this house, I've got financing, I've got it inspected, and everything is all done and said and done. We have closed, she's moved in. So now this referral is all taken care of. So now I need to close this. So by default, the option is going to say closed, and you would just click submit, and ta-da, that's that. But if it didn't close, say funding fell through, or they decided not to move, or they decided they didn't like you, or you didn't like them, you would need to put that reason in here. That is required to provide a reason why it didn't complete, mostly for, what's the word? Accountability, there we go, to the other agent for why this referral didn't work out. But since this did close, we're going to mark this as closed and click submit. So that's going to move it out of this section here over into that view closed referrals section. And this is where we're going to see it under funded down here. So there we go. We got Ariel down here. It's going to show the most recent one last. Now also, any closed referral that wasn't expired or rejected, so any lost or funded, can be reopened. So especially the lost ones here, if somebody, if the referral didn't work out, but then they came crawling back to you, you can reopen the referral and continue sending updates back and forth, and then close it in a different way later if it made it all the way through to closing. Let's see. Let's go back to the map here because it's important to show you how to search. I'm going to click allow here. Yes, I know we have market centers here. So one last big thing to show you here on the, I'm going to move this down here. on the map search here is the things that you can search for are production, market centers, and my network. We already did market centers. My network is just going to show agents that I'm already connected with, which is kind of pointless here because we're trying to add new people. So we're going to leave it as production. And then you can filter this down by different criteria. So is this person a member of luxury and or commercial or land? And these are going to be and. So these are going to be adding them together. So this person has to be a member of luxury and commercial and land, all three of them. So I'm going to uncheck those and just do luxury. Have they closed minimum 25 units in the last 12 months and have minimum 20 of those been listings in the last 12 months? And then you can also ask whether they went to Mega Camp last year. Don't know why that's a filter there. But we'll apply filter here. And we're going to search in, I believe, no. So let's do Denver. Let's go back to Denver here. Search in Denver with these filters applied. And it's showing me no agents found. So I'm going to have to broaden out my filters here. Let's take out this closed units total and see total listings, whether it was 20 and a member of luxury. No, okay. It's probably the luxury designation that's causing it. So we'll uncheck that, apply filter. Why are you showing me no results here? I know there's somebody in Denver that's had minimum 20 closed listings in the last year. Apply filter. Okay, something's wrong. Let me refresh the page. Okay, no filters in place. And I'm going to search by Denver. Why are you doing this? Let's try minimum 1 closed unit, see what it gives us. What is going on here? Apparently we're having issues here. Well, what I was going to show you here, I can still explain it, is say you're looking to send a referral to an agent in the Denver area and you've got it filtered down to, you know, this person must have minimum 25 closed listings in the last year because this is a listing client that you're sending to them. And it says, okay, there are 15 agents that have had 25 closed listings in the last 12 months. What you can do is broadcast that referral. So you're sending basic referral information to all 15 of those agents. So you're saying you're sending them that this is a seller and what area they're in and how much they're looking to sell for. And each of those 15 people has the opportunity to say, yes, I want this referral, or no, I don't want this referral. For the ones that say yes, you get to say, okay, I'm giving the referral to this person. And then at that point, they get the name and the email and the phone number and all the other details about that person that you're sending the referral, that you're sending as a referral. I don't know why it's not showing me any options here. What is wrong? Okay, I've got market centers. Unexpected error has occurred. This is to be expected, even though it says unexpected error. Command and Kelly and all of this stuff is still being worked on. Errors are going to happen. Unfortunately, the only thing to do is to wait it out. We have to wait for KW International to work on this. If it's really important to you and you have to say something about it, you can use the support chat down here at the bottom to send a message to KW International support. Yeah, and it's going to show suggestions based on the page that you're on. But if you click on Get in Touch, you're going to start a chat or leave a message to KW International support. So that's a great way to reach them if something's going wrong and you really need it fixed right away. Can't guarantee that it is going to get fixed right away. One thing to point out is that SLM, we have no access to fix anything at all in any way, shape, form, or function here in Command, especially here in the referrals and things like that. For now, that's going to do it for our overview of chats, groups, and referrals here in KW Command. Everybody have a great day.